Okay, let's jump right into this explainer. Right now, your brain is probably spinning, right? You've got today's to-do list, unread emails, maybe you're even stressing about what's for dinner. But today, we're going to totally reframe that daily grind. We're looking at our present lives through a seriously powerful, clarifying lens. End-of-life reflections. Because, let's face it, we spend so much of our waking hours just trying to keep our heads above water, reacting to whatever fire is loudest in the room. But what happens when we zoom out? What happens when we look at the big picture through the eyes of folks who have already run the race? Well, let's find out. So, have you ever actually wondered what older people regret the most? I mean, seriously, pause for a second and just think about it. Asking this one ultimate question instantly strips away all of those day-to-day trivial worries. That anxiety over a slightly awkward conversation, the frustration of being stuck in traffic, poof, it all just vanishes. It anchors us right back in the high-stakes reality of our future selves. We're basically looking at the ultimate hindsight here and using it to help us build a significantly better, way more intentional today. You know, we usually assume our biggest regrets are going to be tangible things. The money we lost in a bad investment, the house we didn't buy, or maybe that corporate ladder we just didn't climb fast enough. But the actual truth is so much deeper. Our absolute greatest regrets rarely stem from material losses or career slip-ups. Instead, they come from the chances we never took and the moments we simply let slip by. It's those missed human experiences, the unspoken words, and the connections we've totally neglected that leave the deepest, most lasting mark on our hearts. Section 1. Misplaced priorities, time, wealth, and the illusion of later. Okay, so one of the absolute biggest regrets reported across the board is not spending enough time with family and loved ones. So many of us spend our entire lives blindly chasing a paycheck or that next promotion. And we tell ourselves it's for our family, but we're operating under this incredibly dangerous, unspoken assumption that we will always have more time later. We think, once I get this huge project done, then I'll be present. But one day we wake up, the kids are grown, they've moved out, our parents have aged, and those very specific, fleeting windows of opportunity are just gone forever. You can't rewind the clock to make it to that school play or have that Sunday dinner. At the end of the day, memories matter significantly more than money. We also carry this dangerously flawed, kind of youthful assumption that our bodies will just stay strong forever. We totally neglect our physical well-being for the sake of convenience or the hustle. We skip the workout to stay late at work, or we eat terrible food because we're super stressed out. But later in life, people face a really harsh reality. Health is your truest wealth. All the money in the world can buy top-tier medicine, fancy hospital rooms, and the best treatments, but it literally cannot buy back your vitality. It can't buy back the energy to run around with your grandchildren, and it absolutely cannot buy back lost time. Section 2. The cost of fear. Paralyzed by the what-ifs. Moving right along, another massive regret is leaving our dreams unfulfilled. And honestly, this almost always boils down to 3 totally paralyzing fears. The fear of failure, the fear of judgment, and the fear of what others might think of us. Just think about how much human potential has been squandered simply because someone was worried about gossip. Because of this heavy mental baggage, people never start that business they sketched out on a napkin. They never take that cross-country trip. They never sit down to write that book or learn that instrument. They simply never truly live the bold, authentic life they deeply wanted. And years later, all of that fear, all of that hesitation and playing it safe, it all distills down into a single, incredibly painful question. What if I had tried? I want you to just let the emotional weight of that question sink in for a second. Ask yourself right now, are you currently making choices, or maybe avoiding choices, that will basically guarantee this exact regret in your future? It's a heavy thought for sure, but an absolutely necessary one to confront right now, while you still actually have the power to change the answer. It really all boils down to this. Living for others often means forgetting yourself. Older folks deeply regret caring way too much about the opinions of acquaintances, coworkers, and sometimes even random strangers. Spending your prime years trying to please everybody around you is just a completely futile effort because people are going to judge you no matter what you do. If you play it safe, they judge. If you take a massive risk, they judge. The only real result of constantly living for others and molding yourself to fit their expectations is the tragic loss of your own identity. Section 3. The burden of worry. Wasted energy on the uncontrollable. Finally, so many older individuals deeply regret just worrying way too much. They spent years stressing out about problems that never even materialized, agonizing over global events, economic shifts, or random circumstances entirely outside of their control. Think about all the nights of lost sleep over something that literally ended up fixing itself. This chronic worry acted like a set of blinders. It kept them from realizing that life was actually much shorter than they had imagined. They basically traded the gift of the present moment, which is the only moment they actually had power over, for anxiety about a future they couldn't control anyway. So here are the big collective traps we repeatedly fall into. Chasing money over making memories, neglecting our health until it actually breaks down, fearing the judgment of others, and chronically worrying about the uncontrollable. These are the quicksand pits of modern life, guys, but understanding them, that is half the battle right there. Now that we've clearly mapped out these pitfalls and we know exactly what they look like, let's pivot straight toward the solution. Section 4. Designing a life without regret. Actionable steps for today. The ultimate takeaway from all this incredible hindsight distills down into 4 clear directives for your life right now. Number 1, proactively spend time with the people you love. Schedule it, protect it fiercely, and be fully present for it. 2, rigorously take care of your health. Eat well, move your body, and treat it like the irreplaceable asset that it is. 3, follow your dreams before it's too late. Take that first terrifying step today. And 4, stop waiting for the perfect moment. The stars are never going to perfectly align. Life moves way faster than we think, and the time to enact these changes isn't tomorrow, and it isn't next year, it's today. One day, today will become a memory. Make sure it's a memory you're actually proud of. Use this amazing hindsight from the folks who have walked the path before us to start intentionally designing your life right now. Thanks for exploring this topic with me on this explainer, but before you go, I want to leave you with one final question to ask yourself right this second. If today were literally your last day, what is the one thing you would regret not doing? And why on earth aren't you doing it tomorrow?